but even I'm like, there's something going on there. Didn't promise they'd be great jokes, but they are fresh jokes. Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jim Daly Comedy, of course. Different video today. Look, I'm in my studio, which I'm still working on here. That's my green screen where I do my sketches and shorts and all that kind of stuff. But this isn't a sketch today. This is a slightly different video because I'm going to be doing a reaction chatty video about Chelsea sacking Thomas Tuchel, which happened this morning. I thought I would do some slightly different videos on the channel, if that's okay. I want to do some videos where I'd sort of chat to you guys because I love talking, essentially. But as much as I love doing the sketches, and I absolutely love making them, and I will keep making them, trying to do one a day, to be honest, but I love making those silly little sketches. And I still love doing the songs, and I know I say this every video, I am planning some songs for later in the month. I'm going to keep doing the songs, hopefully. I've got a few that I'm working on and bring those back. But my theory with YouTube is, and I mean, they keep changing the algorithm, so who knows if this is true or not. But my theory of YouTube is it's about community. And I used to love back in the day when I'd do the songs and then do a chatty bit at the end and we can get into the comments, we could discuss stuff and I could chat to you guys. I really enjoyed doing a couple of premieres with streams for the 92 songs last couple of years. That is wicked. And I'd love to do some more streams as well and chat to you guys in there because jumping in the comments is a lot of fun. Because you guys are awesome. Honestly, you're the best followers that any YouTube creator has out there. You know, you're the nicest, kindest, funniest, most, committed and loyal and also, crucially, football knowledgeable fans as well. So I just thought it'd be nice to do some chatty stuff as well, and we could maybe get into some proper discussions because it's not quite the same on the shorts when you do that. So this is why we're here today. So, I mean, first of all, before we even get into anything, if you like this format and you like the idea, I should explain the format as well. So, because I thought, trying to keep it sort of, my chair is really squeaky. Trying to keep it comedy centric as well, because that is kind of, the whole point of this channel. I'm going to be doing throughout this video 5 jokes about, this is such a squeaky chair, 5 jokes about Thomas Tuchel that I've written literally this morning, and I'm going to put them in through the video while we chat about him being sacked by Chelsea. If you like the sound of that format, drop a like on the video and let me know, and in the comments let me know what to chat about and do 5 jokes about in the next video as well. And don't forget also to drop your comments below about what you think about the Chelsea situation as well with Thomas Tuchel. So shall we get into it? Before I start with the first chat, I'll do the first joke for you straight away. So here we go. Bearing in mind I did write these this morning, okay? But here we go. This is the life of a comedian. You write jokes about stuff that's happened and then you get them out there. So here we go. Joke number 1. I should do a little sting or something, shouldn't I, for this? Maybe I'll add that in a future video. Joke 1, here we go. Why was the Chelsea manager banned from the megastore? Because he Tuchel the baseball caps. Pause for laughter. There you go. Didn't promise they'd be great jokes, but they are fresh jokes. So that's joke number 1. Shall we get into, I guess, the breaking news that Tuchel was sacked by Chelsea this morning after that 1-0 defeat in the Champions League to Dynamo Zagreb. I did watch it last night. Not a great performance from them. Not a great result. And it's not been a good season for Chelsea in general, has it, really? Let's just get their fixtures up. In the league, 3 wins, 2 defeats and a draw. I mean, it's not horrendous. And as a Palace fan, I would massively take that. But I guess for Chelsea, looking to challenge for the title, it's not the best, is it? So is it fair that Tuchel's been sacked after that? I mean, we'll get into sort of Chelsea's, habit of sacking managers later on. But I guess really, if you're looking at breaking into top 2, challenging for the title, I mean, we could do a whole video on Liverpool as well, couldn't we? But maybe you do want to be, my God, this chair is so squeaky. Maybe you do need, better results. And it's not just the results. I guess it's the manner of the defeats and also the performances. I mean, very lucky against West Ham with that VAR call. Should have dropped a point there. Lost to Southampton and were very, very unconvincing. 3-0 defeat, obviously, to Leeds was horrendous. Chucked in there a 2-1 win against Leicester. again, far from convincing in that. And to be honest, Leicester are on a complete shambles at the moment. So if they hadn't won that, I mean, he may have even been sacked around then anyway. 2-2 draw with Spurs and then a 1-0 win against Everton. Everton, to be fair, not doing as badly as I think people thought this season, but still not great. So, yeah, is it fair that Tuchel was sacked? I mean, given the history of Chelsea, probably. But actually, I would say most clubs probably wouldn't have sacked their manager so early on. But this is Chelsea. I mean, there's been rumours, hasn't there, that like he's lost the dressing room, if we're going to borrow a footballing cliche, and the players don't want to play for him. He doesn't want to be there. Some of his post-match press conferences recently have been kind of the air a man is sort of given up. So, yeah, I would say, I don't know if it's a fair sacking or not, but it's definitely in line with what Chelsea do. So I don't know. Let me know below. What do you think? Do you think it's fair? And if you're a Chelsea fan, let me know if maybe you thought this was coming. My personal trainer is a Chelsea fan, Sam, and I did text him last night saying, Tuchel out? And his response was, I would probably be in that camp soon. So maybe most Chelsea fans expected it. So let me know what you thought. But it's certainly one of those, you know, if we're doing a reaction video, it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh my God, Chelsea have sacked their manager. I'm more like, yeah, that kind of fits in. So let's go on to joke 2. Ready for joke 2? Before we go on to one of the reasons I think he probably was sacked. Joke 2, here we go. Again, I wrote these this morning. They haven't been, you know, finessed. But here we go. Joke number 2. Thomas Tuchel was depressed looking at the Chelsea kits, apparently, because blue is the colour. That needs work. That needs a lot of work. You can kind of see where I'm going with that one, but yeah, that's probably the weakest of the 5 jokes so far. So at least it's uphill from here. I thought maybe we could look at the transfers, because obviously this summer that was a whole big thing, wasn't it? The fact that they tried to get players in, and all the players basically decided to sign for Barcelona instead. Although ironically, they then got Aubameyang from Barcelona on the final day of the window. But I would imagine it might be a case of the club not backing him in the transfer market. I mean, you say that. They spent £250 million on the likes of Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella from Brighton, who I think might be a bit overrated. Fofana, also a bit overrated. And that's really where they spent the big bucks. Obviously, Aubameyang coming in as well. Cesare Cazadei from Inter Milan, 13 million. Never even heard of him. Carney Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa as well. 20 million on him. Obviously one for the future. But, I mean, God. New owners in at Chelsea have not changed their approach to transfers at all. They just love to splash the cash, don't they? So they've done it again. But I would imagine, I mean, it's difficult these days because you never know who's in charge of the transfers. Is it the manager? Is it the chairman? Is it the owner? Is it the director of football? You know, and they obviously lost their director of football, didn't they? Maria, what's her name? Left in the summer. So they maybe things are a bit of a mess transfer-wise at the back. I don't know, but I would imagine maybe after a frustrating summer where you've not got any of your intended targets and they've all gone to Barcelona, who have no money. How are they funding those transfers? I'm not a business person. I'm not an economist. But even I'm like, there's something going on there, surely. Why are they not looking into that? So that is a surprise, but that would be very frustrating, I think, from a Chelsea point of view. So maybe he's felt like he's not been supported. As a Palace fan, I have to say the one transfer that I was genuinely interested in was Conor Gallagher. And there was reports that we were going back in for him and trying to get him for 27 million, trying to get him on loan. Obviously, Tuchel was handing him a chance this season. I think it's fair to say that he hasn't obviously taken it yet. The red card didn't help. But that was a transfer I was hoping would go the other way, and obviously didn't. What happens now? You know, what happens now? Does whoever the new manager is, and we'll come on to that in a minute, what if they don't fancy Conor? Well, Palace can't get him now until January. And my theory was he joins us for 6 months on loan, and that increases his chances of going to the World Cup in November. Because let's face it, he's not going to be a regular at Chelsea. Certainly once Kante comes back from injury. But now that won't happen. So I wonder if he probably, you know, he's dampened his chances of getting in the England team by staying at Chelsea. I hope not. He's a great player and seems like a great lad as well. So, but anyway, let's go on to joke 3 before we talk about potential replacements for Tuchel. And here we go. Joke number 3. Will it be better than the last joke? Only one way to find out. History would suggest probably not. But here we go. Chelsea. Joke number 3 about Tuchel getting sacked by Chelsea. Guys, Chelsea are fine without a manager because they're always used to being alone. Let me rephrase that. Chelsea are fine without having a manager because they have no problem being alone. Alone. All those loan signings that they alone. Again, that one needs rewriting. I think I'd say all these jokes need rewriting. That's what happens when you're writing comedy. You get a joke down, you write an idea, and you think, okay, I'm sort of getting there with the, but yeah, needs rewriting. But that was a joke about them having 400 loan players out every year. So who replaces Tuchel? Well, the front runner is Graham Potter from Brighton, who I would be delighted with. It pains me how well Brighton are starting this season. If they lost their manager, basically the whole reason they're doing so well, then I would be absolutely delighted. It probably is time for Potter to get a big job, to be totally honest. Is Chelsea the right fit for him? I'd say probably not, because he's I'd say he's the sort of manager that needs time to implement his ideas, which Brighton have given him over the last few years, and it's paid off massively. But Chelsea is not that club. I could easily see him going in and being sacked before the end of the season if they don't finish top 4 or they go out early in the Champions League. I would say he needs to end up going to more like a Tottenham, possibly, although they've recently started to fire their managers like Chelsea, or maybe another team sort of near the top of I mean, to be fair, Brighton are near the top of the league, so I don't know. It's difficult now to work out where managers at that level go. Maybe it is top 4 clubs. And I appreciate I probably shouldn't be too smug, because if Vieira starts doing very well at Palace, which he has done, very similar manager in a very similar framework at a club, and Arteta starts struggling, then I think we'll end up with the same problem. So, but yeah, I think it might end up being Potter. I could see them going for him. Who else comes in? Who do you think should replace Tuchel there? I mean, I know that there's talks about Pochettino as well, which meant they would have then swapped clubs from Tottenham to Chelsea. I think that makes more sense. Poch, Champions League experience, top 4 experience, big club experience, than Potter at this moment. And I could see that probably being the manager. But we'll see. Who do you think should get the Chelsea job? Comment below. By the time I've edited this video, I'm doing this at 1:45 Wednesday afternoon. They may well be a new manager. I'm not checking Twitter as I'm doing this, so we'll see. But I suspect it'll be Poch. If not, then Graham Potter. Right, joke 4. Let's move on to that. Okay, this one's not too bad. So here we go. Joke 4. Chelsea have just... Well, this is assuming that Potter has been appointed. So let's assume that's been appointed. Or whoever, actually. So Chelsea have appointed Graham Potter as manager. And a big congratulations... Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, I'm just hearing he's been fired. That's a pretty standard joke, isn't it? I think I've done that joke before in previous videos as well. But to be honest, fits in with the Chelsea model. Speaking of the Chelsea model, I've got my next point here is, does this hire and firing work for a club like Chelsea? I mean, you would suggest, really, maybe it does. And I know that's not really the thing to say. As someone who's in their late 30s and remembers football from a purer time, when managers held on to jobs longer than 5 minutes, Tuchel came in to replace Lampard, who I think, wherever you think of him, we could all agree wasn't up to the Chelsea job. And he won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup, I think. He won the Club World Cup. He brought the trophies in. And so actually, you could... And that was pretty quick into his job as well. So that would be a real reason for the Chelsea hierarchy to say, you know what, this hiring, firing does work. And if you look at other clubs that really display this model, Watford is who I'm thinking about. I know they've gone down again, and recently they've been up and down, but there was a spell when they did this, and it did actually kind of work for them in the Premier League. And, at one point it was almost kind of like the blueprint. I mean, I'm kind of glad it's not still, and it is still something that when it happens, clubs or fans do like to kind of take the mick out of it. But we are certainly heading more towards, I think, that kind of model of hiring and firing and short-term managerial appointments, looking for that new manager bounce, whether that actually exists or not, I don't know. And things are in the short term. Players are now kind of in the short term. You don't really get one club men anymore, or players that stick around for a long time. So it goes, almost follows that pattern and goes the reason that managers are the same. It's a shame, and it works both ways, because if the managers are badly, they go. If they do well, they go as well. Palace, we had Roy Hodgson for 4 years. That felt like a lifetime, really. And I think at one point it was like the third longest serving manager in the Premier League. Klopp at Liverpool, now been here, 6-7 years. That's almost... And Pep at City as well. But they have to be winning titles all the time, which technically Klopp hasn't done. He's won a couple. to keep their job. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Klopp leaves Liverpool, when Pep leaves City. Do they give new managers time, or will they go down this route as well of hiring and firing? Or is it just a Chelsea thing? Man United have started doing it recently as well. And only in the last couple of weeks has it started to pay off for Ten Hag. So it's an interesting one. I would say really as someone that maybe supports a non-top 4 club, or someone that remembers a time when managers got more time, that actually it's not really what you want in football, but it does feel like that's the way we're heading. Let's do joke 5. Here we go. I haven't actually even written this one down. I've just got the punchline. So I'm going to try and say it off the top of my head and we'll see what happens. And you guys can let me know whether you think this one works. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by Chelsea, but it's no surprise because let me reframe it. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by Chelsea. A shock decision? Some would say no surprise because he is now out of the blue. Or the sacking has come out of the blue. Let me reframe it. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by Chelsea. Some would say it was a shock. Some wouldn't say that because even though it's come out of the blue, he is now out of the blue. Feels like a MASH report. Gag, that one, doesn't it? So there you go. That's my final joke. 5 jokes about Tuchel being sacked as Chelsea manager. Do you like this format? I'll try and do it again about other people in previous videos or other subjects if you let me know what you want me to talk about. I didn't say there'd be good jokes, just new jokes. But there you go. That is the life of a stand-up comedian, and that's the goodbye for this first video of this format of this series. Hope you've enjoyed it. A little bit of serious chat, some jokes chucked in, and hopefully some interesting debate as well that you've enjoyed that. Get in the comment section below. Like this video, please, if you have enjoyed it. If you're new here and you stumbled across my channel and this is your introduction, well, thanks for coming on board. I also do sketches, shorts, and I also do parody and comedy songs about football as well, which I am working on as well to bring some back. So do look through my back catalogue as well and let me know what you think. But more importantly, like the video and drop a little comment below. If you like the series, let me know. And if you've got another subject you want me to do 5 jokes about and chat about, then drop that in below as well. Whoa, looking at 15 minutes already. This chatting's easy. No wonder all these YouTubers just chat and reel in millions of pounds. It's easy talking about the subject you care about. So there we go. That's the first video of 5 jokes about ... And this one was about Thomas Tuchel being sacked. I'm now going to go on Twitter and probably find out that the replacement has been announced. But let me know in the comments what you thought. And that's it. Take care, guys. I'll be back again with another video. Hopefully one of these. Definitely another short sketch and some parody songs and comedy songs very soon. Until then, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I'll see you again soon.